Right, let's get to your fan questions. You sent hundreds of questions into our guests, Eni Aluko and Harry Pinero, so we've picked the best ones. Let's start with this one. Eni, who were your favourite players growing up?
Well, Harry will like this. I was a Man United fan growing up.
OK.
And the reason why I changed is because my favourite player growing up was Eric Cantona. And I used to pop my collar like him in the garden. And when he left, I was absolutely devastated, heartbroken. It was like, he broke my heart.
Really?
And I didn't really connect again with Man United. So yeah, Man United was my club growing up. I remember bawling my eyes out when they lost in the FA Cup against Everton in the 90s. I
remember that, yeah.
And now I'm a Chelsea fan.
OK, there we go. All because of Eric Cantona leaving?
Yeah, all because of...
Wow.
Yeah. And I was lucky enough to meet him.
What's he like?
He's quiet. He's not a man of many words. But I told him this story I'm telling you now. I said, I cannot believe I'm actually sat in front of you now. And now we're friends on Instagram.
Oh, love that. Great ending to the story. Love that. Right, next question says, who is the best player in the Premier League? Surely it's Bruno now.
Of course. Bruno the Magician Fernandes.
You like that question, Harry?
These questions are the greatest, to be honest. But yeah, I think anyone that's been watching the Premier League can't argue that Bruno's been amazing. I think he's been an integral part of Man United's success. He's brought a different side of attacking prowess to our team, which we've been missing for a long time. And I think he's making a statement as one of our best players and greatest signings that we've had in a long, long time. If he can add some silverware to that as well, I think that will be a staple signing in years to come as a Man United transfer.
Can he win the league for Man United this season?
We are going to win the league.
Good, simple as that. You're going to win the league.
Clip this, put this anywhere. Wow. Harry Pinero said, we are going to win the league.
Wow. Guaranteed to win the league.
Look,
you're doing it while you're playing the piano as well.
May 2021, the 21st. Don't you think it just makes sense? 21st title, 2021, it's written in the stars.
Right, OK, there we go. Guaranteed to win the league.
Gara.
Harry Pinero says that. I'm looking forward to seeing what the reaction is if you don't win the league, having guaranteed that. But I like the fact that you're not sitting on the fence.
My Instagram would be hacked. This is not Harry.
Next question. Do you think Salah will leave Liverpool? And if he does, where will he go, Eni?
I don't think Salah will leave Liverpool. I think it's probably one of these situations where... you know, he's trying to push for a move to improve his contract. You know, that's what players tend to do sometimes, and sometimes it works. And I don't think he should leave Liverpool. I think when you look at the players that have left Liverpool to pastures new, like Barcelona or Real Madrid, not necessarily had the same success as they have at Liverpool. You see Coutinho go to Barcelona, didn't really work out. So. I hope he doesn't leave for the Premier League, and I don't think he's going to. OK, yeah, interesting to see how that one develops, isn't it? A lot of people eager to know what will happen with Mo Salah, top player, of course. Next question says, what do you think is the best striker for Chelsea on current form? Who do you think is the best striker, that should say? Chelsea's best striker, basically, Harry.
For me, I would say Oliver Giroud. I think proven goal scorer, man. Like, we have to look at what he's done for the teams he's played for in the Premier League, as a World Cup winner as well. I think he has that ability to, you know, head a goal in, shoot. He's a very good team player as well. I think he's got all the attributes. Maybe he might not look like a striker or be very pacey as we associate strikers, but he does the job. And I think Chelsea have realised that when he's come on and had a bit of form and he scored goals. Very, very elite striker. And we saw it for Arsenal. We're seeing it for Chelsea as well.
And you've got to get your thoughts on this. Who would you go with?
Absolutely. Giroud's definitely, I think, been the most consistent striker. You know, the other strikers that come in, like Werner, you know, they're having a bad patch and Giroud's come in. And what I really like about him is what Harry said. He's a team player. He trains very well. I think Lampard's spoken about how professional he is. Even when he's on the bench, he doesn't get minutes. He trains as if he's...
A lot of managers have said that, actually, throughout his career, how professional he is. So with that said, would you be knocking on the door or upset or frustrated if you were Olivier Giroud and everyone said he's a model professional, as you alluded to there, and you're not getting minutes? As a former pro yourself, would you find that frustrating?
I think it's sometimes the way you knock on the door. You know, he might be having conversations with Lampard, like, how can I get in? But it's then on the training pitch, he's showing him, you know, this is what I'm going to do, versus moping around, you know, not being happy that the manager's not picked you, and then that affecting your training. So it sounds to me as if he's someone, whether he's starting or not, he's training well, and then takes that form into games. As a striker, you don't just sit on the bench for a long time and then click, you play and then you score. You're doing that in training. So I think he's just a really great professional, and then that's showing in the goals he's scoring.
And a good role model probably for the younger players.
Yeah.
Chelsea have a lot of young, exciting players coming through. So he must be a player they all look at as a role model on and off the pitch, really.
Yeah, and I think the way Lampard speaks about him will impact the rest of the group. I don't think there's necessarily been lots of harmony with some players that aren't in. Alonso, I think, has had a bit of an issue with Lampard. So, yeah, having that kind of professional in the team who hasn't necessarily always played, I think will hopefully impact the other players as well.
OK, good question, that one. The next question is for you, Harry. Quite simply says, who is your favourite ever Man United player?
No brainer. Paul Scholes. Paul Scholes, for me, was the epitome of a football player, midfield player, for our generation and the generations before us. You can look at the players who have played against him and what they've got to say about him. For Man United, he was literally, you give him the ball and it's controller time. And I think to do that in football and in the era he was playing in, we're talking about greats, and he was up there with them. And I remember when he came back from retirement, and I think it was against Southampton, we was losing 2-0, half-time, he came on. Van Persie scored a hat-trick, but then in the interview goes, the game changed when Paul Scholes came on. And this is a 33-year-old Paul Scholes at the end of the day, and I think he is always going to be my favourite Man United player.
That's actually a tough question because there's so many.
Isn't
there
there?
is. I mean, that's what Man United do.
There's Ryan Giggs, there's Beckham, there's Roy Keane, there's loads. Eric Cantona.
Harry Pinero as well.
So Scholes, for you, out of all of them, because obviously played in that treble-winning era,
So
and as Annie
many.
said, so many great
Ronaldo.
players. The greatest of all
me,
of those players in that era for you.
I first became a Man United fan in 1997, yeah? I've known Paul Scholes. I haven't seen him have a bad season. He's been part of our winning teams. He is the makeup of Man United's midfield. The minute him and Keane left, we haven't been able to fill that void. I think the only player we've had of that level has been Michael Carrick. And I think that is just a credit to who he is as
Better
well.
than Ronaldo.
There's a story Ronaldo said, yeah? I'm just going to be quick with it. He said that there was that training, and Ronaldo was doing skills and stuff, and then Scholes said, I'm going to hit that ball, the tree, one time.
Yeah.
And he hit it one time. Ronaldo was trying 30 times, couldn't get it.
Wow.
I think that says a lot about him.
Okay.
Not saying he's better than
Fair
Ronaldo.
enough. That's answered that.
But
There
I'm
we
just
go.
saying.
It's a good story. I have heard that story before. It's a good story. There it is. Paul Scholes takes it. Next question. Do you think Lampard will see out the season with Chelsea? And if they replace him, who will come in? I mean, we know that Chelsea's a club very close to your heart, and I saw your face as a picture there. It seems incredible that a month ago everyone was praising Frank Lampard and he was playing down title challenges, and now only a month later people are saying his position is under threat. Can you quite believe that?
Football's just so fickle. I don't really understand it. I really do hope he keeps his job. I think that the difficulty with this is that Chelsea, once there starts being rumours, in the media, and a lot of those, there'll be trusted sources, you do wonder where that's coming from. So there may be some truth to it, and I just hope there isn't. I hope that he's given time. I think because he is a Chelsea legend, and there's a great relationship with the fans and what he's done for the club, I just hope that they give him a bit more time, because yes, he's signed a lot of players, they've spent a lot of money, but those players need time to grow as a squad, as Liverpool have done. You don't just click your fingers and win the Premier League, as Liverpool have proven. So I really do hope they give him time.
Do you think they will give him time, Harry?
I think they have to. I think it will be very, very rash for them to sack him mid-season with players that he signed, players that expect to be played under him. I think that wouldn't be the best thing. I think, if anything, they should wait until the end of the season and assess it. It is his second season as a manager. He did get to top 4 with no signings, so we've got to give him credit. I know, like what Annie said, you've got to give these players time. Not every single player is a Bruno Fernandes that can start straight away and do their job. But, it happens at the end of the day. Sorry, I had to. But no, I think it would be very silly to get rid of Lampard.
I love how many times Harry has crowbarred Bruno Fernandes into all these questions. The next question is, Harry, how much do you love Bruno? It's not that question, actually. We've had a few of them. He does love Bruno Fernandes. Last question. What do you make of Arsenal's upturn in form? Can they make Europe, Annie?
Europe?
That is the question, yeah.
Oof. I'm going to go with no on that one. I think there's much better teams that have had a lot more consistency. I think if Arsenal finish sort of top of the top half of the table this season, given their their really bad form, I think they'll be happy. They'll sort of have a sigh of relief. But, you know, stranger things have happened in this league. It's a really open league this year, and we've seen that if you have a good run of sort of 7, 8 games, you can really change the league. So, but, you know, I think Arteta would be happy just finishing safely, comfortably in the top half of the table.
Harry, just finally, where do you think Arsenal will finish the Premier League this season? What position?
14th.
14th?
I think they are where they are. They deserve to be where they are. But, you know, to be honest, the young players that have come through, like Smith Rowe, they've been a breath of fresh air. Saka,
like
but, yeah. I mean, Saka's been there. But Smith Rowe's come through, Tierney, like, they look very, very good. And the game against West Brom, for me, was sensational. I saw, it looked like they was going to score with every goal. And one thing about Arsenal, when they do pick up a run, they do a run. And I feel like they will be in the top half of the table. And I feel that they will, you know, be in the Europa League next season, because that is their standard.
OK, there we go. Thank you very much for all your fan questions.